Hello, Kel67 Gaming here, back again with another favourite 5. This time I will be doing my favourite 5 role-playing games for the Xbox 360. Now, I did previously do my favourite 5 JRPGs for the PS3, so I thought only fair to delve into the role-playing games available on the Xbox 360. Now, before we go any further, this is not JRPGs. There is one Western RPG on the list, which is why the slight change in name. The Xbox 360 obviously was Microsoft's second attempt to crack Japan, and they worked out that in order to do so, they really did need to have some role-playing games. So they made sure that they got some, and here I'm going to take you through my 5 favourites. These are not necessarily the best. I'm sure I've said this on every favourite 5 video. Not necessarily the best, not necessarily the most technically impressive. These are just the ones that I spend most of my time playing. Also, like the last roleplay game video, I'm not going to be getting heavily into the plot. This is going to be just a brief touch and just show you what games that I like playing. So with that said, let's get straight on with my 5th favourite role-playing game for the Xbox 360.
So, as you see, remnants are nothing more than evil charms meant to add to the depravity of man. You may not see the effects now, but not far into the future, terrible disaster awaits. By then, it will be too late to change our sinful ways. Men are meant to work hard and make their own way. We must not accept the temptations of easy life that remnants provide. Stand up and fight! The first step is here. We will strike Athlum with the hammer of justice! See our allies here, dressed as Athlumian soldiers. They will infiltrate that city of sin and cause a disturbance. That will be our chance. Come, let us liberate the people from their chains.
What the heck is this?
Seems like an anti-remnant activist rally.
Sounds more like anti-remnant terrorist activity to me. Whatever they're planning's gotta be dangerous.
Who's there? Oh, it seems we have guests. Lackeys of that magic-abusing Marquis of Athlum. Look closely at their faces, shining with depravity. Whoa! For it is too late for these unbelievers to be saved. Yet they can serve some purpose. A prelude to the cleansing of Athlum. We shall christen our movement with the blood of these servants of evil!
This guy's psycho!
Prepare yourselves!
I suppose there's naught we can do but fight.
So that game was The Last Remnant. That's a game by Square Enix. Without getting into the story, it's a standard Square Enix fare. You've got lots of different monsters and you go on an epic quest to save the world. It's, you know what you're getting with these games. This one is one that I discovered reasonably recently. I think only last year I picked this one up, but was well worth the pickup, and I've really enjoyed getting to know the game, getting to know the characters, and that's why it makes my list. So that was my 5th favourite, which means that the next one is going to be my 4th favourite roleplay game for the Xbox 360.
Are you okay?
Hey, who said we were offering it?
What? What is this hand?
It's a handshake. It means let's be friends. It's how we greet one another. The Devi don't do anything like that?
We Devis dance.
Dance?
Yes! The Devi dance of friendship!
Huh?
Huh? So, what's your name?
Maru Maru!
Tell me, Maru Maru, why do you have to shout so loud all the time?
Maru don't know!
So you can use magic too. Did you swallow a light sphere? Are you one of Nene's comrades?
Maru would never be friends with a guy like him! Never! Never! Never!
Okay, I'm sorry I said that. I apologize. Stop shouting already.
Well, you don't talk that differently either, Shu.
Maru Maru, tell me about that machine. You didn't build that yourself, did you?
Oh, almost forgot! No time to play with you! Maru here to find medicine!
Medicine? What kind?
Don't follow! Gotta find medicine now, or Mommy and all villagers are gonna die!
Oh, come on. We can't just walk away from something like this. We'll help you search for it, okay?
That's right.
It's better than searching alone, right?
Whatever!
So my 4th favourite role-playing game for the 360 is Blue Dragon. Now, as I said at the top of this video, Microsoft very quickly realised that in order to crack the Japanese market, they needed to have some role-playing games because they're massively popular over there. So this is a JRPG by Mistwalker, who was a studio that Microsoft acquired to do exclusive games for them. This is I believe the earliest one that they've done for Microsoft. You can tell with the art style it looks very similar to some of the PS2 era role-playing games. Again, it's your standard fare. A lot of the staff from Mistwalker had previously worked on the Final Fantasy series, so these were massively experienced staff, and they went a slightly different art style, but I think although it was different to what Final Fantasy was doing at the time, it was possibly closer to the likes of Final Fantasy IX, which had a more cartoony element to it. And this was a launch title, I believe, in Japan, meant to be a system seller. Unfortunately, it never quite worked out for Microsoft, and they didn't get the massive market share that they craved. However, they have left the legacy of a quite wonderful role-playing game, which I think is far more appreciated in the West than it is in Japan. So that was my 4th favourite, which means we're at the halfway point on the list. My 3rd favourite role-play game for the Xbox 360.
Hello? Hello? Maybe we've got the wrong place. Let's, get out. Don't move. We won't move if you won't shoot. Deal?
You better tell your friend that.
It's all right. Just do as he says.
Who are you? What are you doing here?
I'm Walter, and this is, well, that really doesn't matter right now. We're here to speak with Paige.
I say we shoot.
Listen, we're on your side. Just hear us out. We don't make deals with spies. Shoot! Wait!
Put your weapons down. I thought I gave the orders round here, kid.
Sorry, Paige. Got a bit carried away.
Walter, glad you're all right.
And I'm glad you came in when you did.
I wasn't exactly expecting you. Let's talk somewhere a bit more private.
So my third favourite roleplay game on the 360 is the one that drops the J from this video title. This is a Western RPG. This is Fable 3. Fable, of course, another exclusive Xbox 360 game. And in this one, it has a rather unique game mechanic where you start the game knowing what the end of the game is going to be. That a great evil is coming, and it gives you the whole game to prepare for that battle with the big evil. The twist with it is, as you go through the game, there's several choices that you have to make between being a popular ruler and being good to your subjects, or you can heavily tax them. You can force conscription into armies to build a military force for that end of game battle. And you kind of have to balance the two, because you don't want a revolution on your hands, but you don't want to have a kingdom that's so weak that you ultimately fail in the game. It's massively enjoyable, as are all the Fable games, as long as you go into them knowing what they are and not believing Peter Molyneux and his planting acorn and watching oak grow lies, let's just say. But yeah, it's a very enjoyable game, and certainly anyone with a 360 and an interest in RPGs should already have this one, and if you haven't, I would certainly recommend that you get it. So very quickly, I've got to my second favourite roleplay game for the Xbox 360.
Who's there?
Meow. Meow. Meow.
Oh, just a cat, huh?
Meow. Meow. Meow.
But you know what? We don't have any cats! Hold it, you perv! I'm not letting you get away with this!
Meow. Meow. Meow.
So my second favourite roleplay game for the 360 is the second Square Enix game on this list. This one is Star Ocean: The Last Hope. I just really enjoyed this game. As I said with Last Remnant, you kind of know what you're going to get with the Square Enix RPG. You're going to get ordinary kid, goes on massive quest, saves the world. You're going to battle a lot of monsters along the way. You're going to meet a lot of characters that you're going to really start to feel something for, and you'll really care about their survival. This one's no different, apart from the fact that it is, of course, sci-fi. I think this kind of links in with the way that Final Fantasy started going. It's where it started, more or less medieval roleplay game, and kind of turned into more science fiction. And this is along those same lines. Really good tight combat. The enemies that you come up against really well matched, as long as you're leveling your characters correctly. The story itself, just a wonderful journey to go on with these characters, and that's why it's my second favourite game, or second favourite roleplay game for the 360. Which means there's only one place to go, and that one place is my favourite game of all time on the my favourite roleplay game, I should say, of all time on the Xbox 360. And at number 1, following the second Square Enix game to make the list, is the second Mistwalker game to make the list. This one's Lost Odyssey. This game is as close to perfect for me as it can be. I love the story, I love the setting. You can tell that this is people who worked on the Final Fantasy series. It is so reminiscent of the classic Final Fantasy games, of course with upgraded graphics, that it could quite happily have borne the Final Fantasy name itself. Of course it would have had to have been released by Square Enix to do that. At a time where Final Fantasy was moving away from their traditional turn-based combat, this game just had it as the battle mechanic. Classic Final Fantasy turn-based combat with your list of attacks, magics, your items. It's just, for a classic Final Fantasy fan, this is everything you want and more. And I absolutely loved this game, and I've just, after I finished the main story, went back, done all the side quests, just absolutely loved it. And that's why it's my favourite game. Oh sorry, favourite roleplay game for the Xbox 360. And that's my list. Now, I keep saying this, if you agree with me, whilst you may have undoubtedly just wonderful taste, it's a bit boring. So tell me what role-playing games on the 360 you like. Tell me in the comments below. There's every chance that I haven't found them. A lot of these role-play games for the 360 are quite obscure. Even something from Square Enix, the Last Remnant, took me until last year to actually find that one. So I'd be very interested to hear what games you think are worth picking up. I'll certainly be interested to find out, and if there's any that I don't know, I'll be actively looking for them myself. And if you haven't already, please drop a like on the video. Apparently that helps, I'm not sure why. And if you have liked, please subscribe to the channel. Small channel we want to grow, and the only way we're going to do that is through getting more subscribers, more eyes on the product, as it were. If you feel the need to share the video, feel free to do that with anyone and anywhere. And most importantly, until next time, keep gaming.